Guys, there is a world buff that you can utilize to cut off your leveling time by literal hours on your way from 70 to 80. This is going to be huge for anyone that wants to level quickly or anyone that wants to level even just more efficiently in any retrospect. And what I'm talking about is the Brewfest Enthusiast buff. This is a buff that will give you 10% XP gains for 2 full hours. And I'm gonna give you everything I know about it. So again, the buff itself lasts for 2 full hours and it gives you 10% increased XP gains. But that XP gain is really only focused on things from killing mobs. You do not get extra XP from turning in quests. So this doesn't necessarily help you if you did any pre-questing to get a ton more experience from your pre-questing. But it does last for a full 2 hours, which means if you spend those 2 hours completely mob grinding, then if you were getting something like 1,000,000 XP per hour, you're getting an extra 200,000 XP in those first 2 hours of Wrath launch. You can utilize this well. A lot of people are gonna pair it together with their pre-questing. So shorten your pre-questing, get as much out of that as possible, and then focus really hard on just whatever mob grinding or questing, whatever your normal leveling route is gonna be, and you're just getting some free extra XP from it. In the background, you can just see me doing the Utgard Keep solo farms for a Frost Death Knight. You can do this completely naked, and I will have a link to this in the description, but you can get 850k XP per hour from this, so you're getting an extra 85,000 just from having this buff. One thing to note, you cannot obviously chrono boon this buff. It does not apply to this particular world buff, so don't expect to get 4 hours out of one time getting this buff, but it is still really amazing to get. And how do you get it? Well, if you head over here into Orgrimmar, in front of Orgrimmar at 6:15 server on both the AM and PM times, so literally twice a day, there will be a yell that goes out by one of the bosses on your actual faction. And then about 2 minutes later, the buff will go out in this area. So this will be worth it to have characters here as you're doing a dungeon farm and summon your actual entire group here and then summon the entire group all the way back to the dungeons. This is totally worth it if you can min-max that. And we absolutely will see the world first person definitely utilizing this. I did see on some old versions of the game that this buff used to persist through death, and it also used to go out at 6 o'clock, not 6:15. But according to everyone I've talked to, and I couldn't actually confirm this because I almost got the buff, I missed it by like 15 minutes earlier, it does actually not persist through death, but it does persist through being logged out. So you can get all of your preparation done, get your flasks, get your consumables, get summoned to where you want to start turning in all of your quests for your pre-quest turn-ins, and then just log out there on Sunday night before the launch of Wrath and be ready to log in right at Wrath launch and get full use out of this buff. And the last thing I want you guys to know about it is apparently if you have any duration left on this buff, when a new one is going out, you will not refresh your duration. So make sure you cancel aura it or just right click it off whenever you're getting a fresh one if you were logged out with this buff. But I would highly suggest just logging out with all of your characters that you plan to level and getting the buff. Brewfest will persist all the way until October 6th, pretty much until we have raid launches. So you have a ton of time to get amazing usage out of this buff. Anyways, guys, that's all I wanted to talk about today. I want you all to be aware of this and be planning to log out on Sunday so you get extra usage out of this buff. It could drastically shorten your leveling time. If you're planning for about a 20-hour level, you could actually make that in about 18 hours. This would be having the buff at all times, but you can only have it for 4 hours of leveling every day. Thanks for watching, guys, and good luck with your leveling.